So after breaking through the seal on the box, you find the smaller box inside, but we'll get to that later. After that, you can see the device. It's covered by a plastic film that showcases the highlights of the A32. We'll also get to that later. So in the box, you have the accessories that came with the device. Now this is a USB Type-C cord for charging. Then the charging brick, a 15 watts charging brick. But this device does not support fast charging, so it's just regular charging. Then the SIM ejector tool. After that, there's nothing else in the box. Then, in the smaller box, Samsung was generous enough to include a case, and this is a plastic case that is very flexible and transparent. Then the quick start guide and warranty card. So that's all in the box. So to the device, let's take off this plastic film. Also note that the device has small protective plastic films around the edges, and it's really hard to get it off, so it's going to take some time for me to get it off here. So we're done with that. Now let's turn the device on. So on the left side of the device, you find the SIM and SD card tray. Then at the bottom, a headphone jack, microphone, USB Type-C ports, and a bottom firing speaker. On the right, a power button and volume rocker keys. Then at the top, another microphone. The A32 has a quad camera setup which houses a 64 megapixel f1.8 main sensor, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, a 5 megapixel macro lens, and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. So setting up the device. This particular setup is relatively fast compared to other phones I've reviewed, but I've put it in 4 times forward, so it's not waste much of your time. So now we're done with the setup. So these are the specifications of the Galaxy A32 on your screen, and apart from the big battery and the fancy camera setup, one of the main highlights of the A32 is the 6.4-inch 1080p AMOLED screen and the 90Hz refresh rate. And let me just add, this screen looks beautiful, and normal scrolling and day-to-day activities will be smooth as on this display, so keep that in mind. And the screen is protected by a Gorilla Glass 5, which means that if you're not a heavy user that walks around materials that may damage the screen, you don't really need an extra screen protector. You can find the A32 for about 119,000 naira or $250, and this is for the 6GB RAM and 128GB internal storage variant. So opening the camera app is to take you to the basic photo menu, and the camera looks good, and this is the ultra wide. This is portrait. For some reason, Samsung has changed their live focus on their camera to portrait. So let's go to the camera settings. Has video stabilization and some other settings that you can get to later. Now this is the front camera. The front camera has a 20 megapixel lens, and it also has ultra wide and portrait, which used to be live focus. So this is what the transparent case that came in the box of the A32 looks like. The case really does a good job protecting the device, but I advise you to get an external case. So that's all for the A32.